Alright, hey everybody, it's me BaRKy, and I'm here with a video about doors in Rimworld. So doors in the game have some really unique properties which help you out quite a bit if you use them properly. They're effectively the difference between something being indoors and outdoors, which means they're the difference between so many other things and affect the fridge, mood debuffs, lots of mood debuffs, production speed, so many things that I can't list them all. Which is why it's important to always consider doors properly in a base, such as their location, the material they're made out of, etc, etc. This is also why it's important to not just spam one type of material if you want to be as efficient as possible. And this breaks down as I start recording. Thank you, Rimworld. So if you didn't know different materials affect doors differently, no, I'm not just speaking about the hit points, I'm speaking about other effects, then I'm glad to be able to tell you that. Because yes, different materials affect doors differently besides hit points, which is very, very important. There's three important things that the materials you use to make a door affect it. So flammability is one, which you can check over here, 20%, etc. for Jade. Your hit points, which is how much health it has, how much damage it can take, etc. This is very important because raiders target doors generally. And then, not always known to people, but different materials open the doors at different speeds. So as you can see, the door opening speed is 100%. You might just think that's completely normal, but if I go to another door, you can actually check 45%. And if I go here, 90%, stuff like that. So different doors get opened at different rates. Fuck off, beavers! So I've made this little test area, and then I've gone and kind of separated these into three different categories. So as you can see, there's one category here just for non-auto doors, but the rest of them all auto doors because the materials are much more of a ratio than anything else. And auto doors just open doors 4 times as fast. That's pretty much the only difference between auto doors and normal doors. And I've mixed every single material, and as you can see, I've put the materials behind the door so it's very easy to see which one it is. So we have normal materials here, stones here, and then finally uranium, which is a special kind. It's uranium is very different to the rest of the materials in the game, which is very nice. So we have flammable doors here. This is the flammable category, or category 1. These are the non-flammable doors that take a while to open, which is, let's just say, category 2. And then over here we have category 3, which uranium stands by itself, even though it would have fit in really nicely over there. Anyways, yes, this is the uranium door. This is the best door in the game. I'll just say that now, just in case you're not interested in watching the rest of the video. This is the best door in the game by far. At the same time, it's uranium. So as I said, that's why it's only very, very late game that you can use these kind of doors and get away with it. Especially since it increases your wealth so much to just spam that. So let's start with the first category over here, which is the flammable doors. The average speed of the material here is 100%. So these open at about 100% on average. So if I go to most of them, door opening speed 100, 100, gold, 100, even steel's 100. So the normal speed is 100%, except for wood, which is 20% faster. Just keep that in mind. Wooden auto doors open 20% faster than the other doors. Just what the flammability means is that they will catch fire. That's pretty much it. So if there's a fire, they will melt. And I think it's because maybe fire is set at 2000 degrees or something. So all of them are kind of just, they all just disappear in a fire. Wooden door is the most flammable though at 100%. And it has the weakest amount of hit points, etc. So this is the special door. It is the fastest opening door in the game. It does have a lot of drawbacks. The really low hit points is a major drawback for me. But it's still good to understand why you should use wooden doors over steel for important locations that you need to get in and out of quickly, such as a fridge for efficiency. Maybe if you have a fridge set up over here, and then you have a wooden door here with the cooking bench over there. It's very easy to get in and out fast, which is why you want the wooden door. And it's not that big of a deal to let that door burn while the rest of the building can be made out of stone. But just remember that a door can be the difference between being inside and outside, which also might mean the difference between having a really hot room, like 2000 degrees superheated air room, and having a or just having an outdoor room which shares the temperature of the outdoor section, which will cull quite a few fires, but it's the heat that's a major problem. So as it could actually be seen as a good thing to have a really weak door and a strong room, etc. And after the wooden door I choose for a door, I'd probably choose plasteel, but obviously this is late game stuff. So steel and wood are generally the main two here. You will get plasteel later, but yeah, late game stuff. Next up we have the second category, which are the slow to open but non-flammable doors, which I think is pretty cool. I'd say most bases generally use these mid-game. I know I do. Basically, these doors are all exactly the same, except granite does have the most hit points. But they're all exactly the same in that they are not flammable at all, but a door opening speed of 45%. So that's more than half the speed of a normal flammable door. So just keep that in mind. These doors are incredibly slow to open, which I've made some speed areas here so we can test that out later. But yeah, these doors take quite a while to open, and they're not overly great, I would say. They're not overly great. I generally don't use these as doors. But having a non-flammable base is very important, and if you've ever seen my stream, fire is probably the biggest thing I deal with. So yeah, but you can pretty much pass through 3 of these doors in the time it takes to go through one of these, to give you guys perspective. To sacrifice having non-flammability, you kind of need to sacrifice the speed and efficiency of opening a door fast, but it is climate dependent. So in most cases, I generally will use a steel door over a slate door, even if the base is made out of slate, for example. Fires are always a threat. Always. And more than that, raiders target doors, so just keep that in mind. These doors are much tougher than, so if we take a sandstone door and compare it, let's not compare plasteel, say steel, you get an extra 100 hit points, which is pretty nice. And finally, we have category 3, which is the best door in the game, I think, which is the Uranium Door. It has some of the highest hit points possible, which is 625, 0% flammability, and it opens at twice the speed of a stone door. This is 90% opening speed, which is really, really freaking fast when you think about it. But again, it is uranium, so you're not going to have tons of uranium just lying around. This is a very, very expensive door. If you can quantify that, it's 3,000 here market value. Well, a wooden one is a 20th of that, effectively, is a 20th of that. So what I've got set up here are a whole bunch of these synth bots. They're just people with red hair, literally. They don't have anything unique about them. They can do everything, but they're always happy, which is good. So what we're going to do is do some speed tests, so I can put things into perspective. So what we have over here is a limestone door, which is just a normal stone door, compared to a plasteel auto door, which opens at 100%. So it's 45 versus 100. I made the corridors decently long, so you can see the effects quite clearly. Okay. So you can see the difference there. If you were to use 2 or 3 of these doors, that would be quite a big difference. But just remember that for most of these, there will be bedroom doors or doors between fridges, etc., etc. Most people don't have one gigantic room as a base. So we can let them go free now. You guys go free. Cool. So over here I have a normal door, and then I have 4 of the same auto doors, and this is just to show you the difference in speed between an auto door and a normal door. It is about 4 times. There we go. See, they almost exactly arrive at the same time. And then over here we have a slate auto door versus 2 uranium auto doors. So you can see how uranium is much more superior to the slate. That's a big difference, especially considering that there's 2 doors there. That's a pretty major difference. Okay, you guys can go free. Then over here, I just for funsies, I have a whole lot of wooden doors, and then I'm going to compare them to a sandstone door. Even here, wooden doors open so quickly that colonists basically don't even notice that they're passing through them. And even if I compare, if I do this, for example, make them race without the doors, it's not even that big of a difference at all. In fact, that's almost, I would say that's pretty much instant. Like, these doors it doesn't matter much at all. And then finally, I have a sandstone door compared to 2 plasteel doors. This is 100%, this is 45% opening speed. You can see the difference is actually quite significant there. Just remember that I'm using 2 doors generally to compare them to. This doesn't take into account hit points and all of that, but I think that hit points are a much more quantifiable thing, because you can just take a look. Oh, uranium, 625 hit points. Oh, sandstone, 350. If I go to granite, it's like 450, I think. 425, stuff like that. Much easier to quantify. Anyways, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to show you guys how doors have different opening speeds. It's quite a big deal, actually. It's something really, really awesome to know. It feels so nice to test out stuff in Rimworld. But as I said, I would go with uranium late game. The non-flammability is generally something that I really, really appreciate. Generally. Anyways, hope you guys have an amazing day. See ya!